Hello! Believe you're well acquainted with the animal kingdom? This video may surprise you, introducing truly astonishing mutant animals that defy belief. From mosquitoes that can be programmed and frogs sporting fangs to peculiar wolves capable of devouring 250,000 insects in a single meal. A myriad of incredible creatures are poised to captivate your attention right here. Number 1. Fingertip Chameleon. These babies have already won the hearts of many internet users. While these fingertip chameleons were only bred recently in the wild, these subspecies called Bru micra is found only in the tropical forest of Madagascar. Due to the size of the subspecies, it was literally overlooked. The first scientific description of the babies took place only in 2012. Around the same time, attempts to breed small lizards as pets also began, however. The authorities of the country actively prevent their export to other countries because any interference in the life of this subspecies could jeopardize its very existence. Number 2. Bryozoa. At first glance, the bryozoa, also known as the Mashanka, looks like an alien organism or a mythical dragon egg, but in fact, these creatures are terrestrial. They're aquatic and mostly marine. Individual sizes do not exceed 1 to 3 millimeters, which is 0.03 to 0.1 inches. But usually, bryozoas live in colonies that can occupy an area of more than 1 square meter or 10 square feet. Some species of bryozoa look like fluffy jellyfish. Others look more like a motionless mass. Number 3. Sudden Death Mosquito. A few years ago, scientists from the British company Oxytocin came up with an original invention to fight annoying mosquitoes that annoy everyone. They bred genetically modified female and male yellow fever mosquitoes whose larvae are supposed to die before they mature into full-fledged mosquitoes. They call these creatures suddenly dying mosquitoes. It was thought that if a swarm of these mosquitoes is introduced into an ecosystem dominated by common mosquitoes, the number of malaria vector in that ecosystem will begin to decline dramatically. Between 2009 and 2010, more than 20,000 such mosquitoes were introduced into Grand Cayman. They were supposed to fight local mosquitoes, and they succeeded. The number of local mosquitoes on the island was reduced by 80%, but later the trials were closed, as scientists believed that further experiments would completely destroy mosquitoes in certain ecosystems, which would cause enormous damage to the food chain and lead to chaos. Number 4. Melanistic foxes. When you think of the most beautiful animal on Earth, it's unlikely the fox comes to mind, right? But have you seen something like this? This is the cross fox, a variant of the red fox, but with an incredibly beautiful coloration. Cross fox got its name due to 2 long dark stripes crossing its back. In general, these foxes owe their unusual coloration to melanism, which is essentially the opposite of albinism. Although cross foxes are quite rare, there are also more rare subspecies. For example, a silver fox, which can be considered as an ultimate version of a cross fox. Silver fox fur is very diverse. Some silver foxes are completely glossy black, except for the white at the tip of the tail, which gives them a silvery appearance. Some silver foxes are bluish-gray, and some may even have coloration, which is common for domestic cats. Number 5. Venezuelan Poodle Moth. Found in 2009 in Canaima National Park in Venezuela. This moth does resemble a cross between a poodle and an insect. However, scientists are not sure that this species really exists. The photos of the poodle moth were actively forced in 2012 when they became an internet meme. Later, it turned out that the sensation was based on a single photo taken by a Kyrgyz zoologist, Archer Anchor. The man published the photos back in 2009, but no evidence of the real existence of such a moth has yet been found. Number 6. Pink Katydid. Most grasshoppers are great camouflage masters. Thanks to their coloring, they blend in with the leaves and grass. However, there are some grasshoppers that are bright pink. Scientists still don't know how they manage to survive in the wild. Few people know about this amazing species called the meadow grasshopper because it's almost impossible to see in the wild. One of their habitats is the Amazon rainforest, which is where they were initially found. Entomologists originally theorized that these grasshoppers, which live in the tropics, change color depending on the season, but in the early 20th century, pink katydids were found in the USA. It took place in July at the height of summer, so the hypothesis of seasonality had to be abandoned. In fact, the unusual coloration is the result of erytherism, a genetic mutation characterized by a pigmented lesion of the outer covers in favor of red, orange, or pinkish color. It can be caused either by an excessive amount of red pigment or a lack of blue pigment. Number 7. Blue lobsters. The most massive lobster catching around is the Atlantic coast. The lobsters caught here are no different. They're the same brownish-gray moving mass that all changed in 2016 when two fishermen caused quite a stir-off. The coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, they caught not one, but two blue lobsters just a few kilometers apart among fishermen. Catching blue lobster is considered a happy omen. No wonder, because the blue lobster occurs once in 2 million individuals. Considering that about 200 million lobsters are caught in the region each year, fishermen get no more than 100 individuals per year. Number 8. Aardwolf. We've all heard of the gray wolf, but what about the aardwolf? This species inhabits the eastern and southern part of Africa and is closely related to hyenas. However, aardwolves do not hunt large prey. Most of their diet consists of insects. Particularly, they love eating termites. With their long, sticky tongues, this species can eat up to 250,000 termites in one meal. Can you even imagine that? The species received its name due to its lifestyle. Unlike other representatives of the family, aardwolves live in deep holes, which they dig out on their own in the ground or sand. The aardwolf is about half the size of a hyena. Its body length is between 55 and 95 centimeters, or 21 to 37 inches, and adult individuals weigh from 8 to 14 kilometers, or 17 to 30 pounds. They're not very good fighters because they prefer to avoid fights to scare larger opponents. Aardwolves bristle and become visually larger due to the long, thick fur. If that doesn't help, they, like skunks, spew a stinking fluid from special glands. Number 9. Two-headed slug. In 2015, a group of divers noticed something unusual off the coast of Borneo, Malaysia. One of the divers noticed a bright orange-green object on the seafloor. What at first was thought to be a piece of plastic turned out to be a living creature, a two-headed creature. This is how was discovered the first two-headed slug species in the history of science. It was decided to call it a neon slug because of its unusual coloration. Scientists managed to find out that in their natural habitat, neon slugs are already born with two heads. They grow up to 12 centimeters or 4.7 inches in length and lead a completely typical lifestyle for their family. But why do they need a second head? Science has no answer to this question yet. Maybe you have the answer. If so, share it with us in the comment section down below. Number 10. Frogs with fangs. There are several thousand species of frogs and toads in the world by now, but scientists still discover new species every year. It seems that frogs of all colors, shapes, and sizes exist in the world. For example, frogs on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi have acquired fangs. It's unknown why a group of as many as 13 subspecies need to fight for this feature in the process of evolution, but it's clearly not an accidental anomaly. University of California, Berkeley reptile specialist Jimmy McGuire described in detail a unique frog found in the forests of Indonesia. He noted that in addition to the fangs used by the males during fights, what sets these frogs apart from other species is their ability to reproduce by giving birth to live tadpoles rather than laying eggs. Number 11. Black salamander. In 2013, a new salamander species was discovered in northern Vietnam. Its black coloration with bright orange spots on its legs and tail make it easy to distinguish the new species from the rest of the family. Their closest relative is the Anderson's triton, a species of salamander found in the Ryukyu Islands of Japan. It was decided to name the new species Ziegler's crocodile newt after the scientist Thomas Ziegler, who had been studying reptiles and amphibians in Vietnam for many years by now. No wonder that for a long time, this species managed to hide from human eyes. After all, these lizards are quite small. Males of this species reach a length of 5.4 to 6 centimeters, or 2.1 to 2.3 inches, and females usually do not exceed a length of 7 centimeters, or 2.7 inches. Moreover, Ziegler's crocodile newts inhabit a relatively small range of land, preferring swampy or mountainous forests. When photos of the new species appeared on the internet, many lovers of exotic pets immediately wished they had such a newt in their collection. Not surprisingly that the Vietnamese government had to suspend the publication of materials about the new species in the press. Moreover, strict restrictions were imposed on the export of Ziegler's crocodile newts from the country. That's all, guys. Press the like button if you like the video. Subscribe and don't forget to stay notified on upcoming videos. Check out some more of our stuff, and we'll see you later.